All right, I want to show you how to do steps right now. I'm going to make a door right here, and and then we're going to have the steps just inside of them. In fact, maybe even in this case, I might have them coming out. I'm going to make sure once again that the door is parallel or it's the same as all my verticals. I just drew that side of it, and now I'm going to draw this side. So I'm hooking it to whatever vertical line that I have to do that. The top of the door, just like over here, has to go to the vanishing point. And remember, I told you that the windows and doors are going to be the same height. So I'm going to make this door this height. And since I drew a window frame on, I'm going to make the frame the same height also. So this gives us this really neat continuity here, where we have, well, just each thing seems to go together. It all belongs in the same room. When we can do things the same size, they look like they belong and they weren't just a second thought or an afterthought to us. You know, there's design even to the interiors that we're drawing right now. So, I mean, I love that you're learning perspective, but dang it, we got to learn a little bit of interior design also, don't we? Hey, I'm erasing this because it's driving me crazy. I think I'm going to erase these a little bit too, because this is supposed to represent a back wall. And maybe I can draw two sets of steps. It's kind of a weird situation that we're in right now. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend like the steps start right here, like you walk over to the edge of the tile and the first step is right up here. And what I mean by that is that steps, that part is called a rise, and this part is called a run. When we design our steps, we want to measure so each of those will be equal. And we also want each of these to go up in a good vertical and come back in good horizontals. So if I was to measure it first, right here, I'm going to do another one here where I'm measuring every ½ inch. I'm going to let this one be that's our first one. I'm going to come straight back. Now watch this. I think that I'm going to let our run be since I went ½ inch there, I'll go 1 inch. And I know that I'm drawing right on top of this other one. Just pretend like that other one's not there. So here's what I'm doing. I want this to come straight back to that. Huzzah. Now we're going to use this to go straight up 1/2 inch. We're coming straight back from there. And notice that I'm laying this on top, trying to get, there we came back 1 inch. I'm laying this on there again, coming up 1/2 inch. Wow, with these rulers, I don't even have to really do those measurements. So now that I've done this, I lay this on there and then I can get a good perpendiculars and parallels. Now I have a good rise and run that is consistent. When we do our steps, we then do this part, going back to our vanishing point. Each one of these goes to our vanishing point, and you'll notice that as we get higher and higher, closer to the horizon line, these are going to get thinner and thinner, but that's okay because that's what that does in reality too. So sometimes when things start looking a little bit different, or we think that a step is too shallow or something, if we've measured, everything should be great. Now watch this. I am going to do my line right there. I wanted it to be parallel to this one. I think I missed. No, it's good. All right, now where that intersects, we're going to come back here. Oh, and I only have to go back to the point where it meets this step, and from there we go up. Now I don't have to measure anymore because these measurements are all going to be smaller than these measurements because they're farther away from us. So all I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that these lines are parallel with those, that these vertical lines are parallel with those vertical lines, and I'm doing that the whole way. I could go in this direction where I see the intersection. I'm then using this line to imitate the parallel. Okay, I am lost. So now, so that's the whole thing. You see that? So that's the idea of rise and run. If you ever decide to build steps onto a deck or something, rise and run is going to be really important. You always want them consistent. If you make one a little bit higher, you can have a lot of fun watching everybody trip on them, but you might also have some lawsuits. I'm going to bring this back, and we're going to try to put that step inside the door. Oh, so this one, notice I could draw the front side of this step, and then and then just draw back towards our vanishing point from there. So I showed you one way, and now I'm going to do another one. Watch this. On this one, we're drawing the back side of the step. So I've already measured the rise. I'm going to go back a ½ inch on these because I want to do several. I am using the edge of the doorway to... Oh no, my doorway isn't parallel. So that's about all I got is those two steps. So watch this. Now, since I have these back steps, they're the steps in this wall, I'm going to do this. I bring that over as far as I can go, and I make a third and last line right there. So now we can see that we have a couple of steps going up right here. Huzzah! Now here's the thing. If I wanted to put a railing in here, I'm probably going to have a railing at the same angle as the steps. So notice I just drew a line across the steps. So I'm going to draw that railing right up here. And I'm going to do it a couple of lines, parallel lines. Get rid of some of these measurements I never should have put in the first place. Drawn into this railing. Pow! Right there. Oh yeah, baby. I got some steps coming out here. I have a railing. So your mom can come down them without slipping. What would we do without our mothers? I don't even want to think about it. A couple of steps there. We can do it sometimes like this where we bring the steps into the room. I want to show you one more thing. Imagine that the steps are going away from us. These are going sideways to us, aren't they? So now if I was going to do this, I'm going to let you know this one in a jiffy.